All right, hi everyone. Welcome to Mindgasms. We've got our brain trust here again. We got woke centrist, of course, and Chris James, aka Tubin, or I forgot to say woke centrist, also aka Dusty, and then Scazio, aka Shizan. And we're going to kind of talk shit about politics and culture and stuff, and talk about this new phenomenally kind of hilariously Orwellian idea that Mark Zuckerberg has of the Facebook metaverse, of trying to incorporate things like virtual reality and Facebook's version of Bitcoin, and basically the hyper realization of Facebook. You could say that in a postmodern or post-structuralist context. And then also Bari Weiss, the former New York Times journalist who stopped and left the New York Times and started her own Substack, and of course recently was talking on CNN about how the world has gone insane with all this hyper anti-SJW ideology, basically. And so she decided to start her own quote unquote anti-woke university, which is kind of like IDW adjacent, which has lots of people like Steven Pinker and Peter Boghossian and stuff. And apparently it's all going to be about anti-wokeness and anti-cancel culture. And they're unaccredited, which is very difficult to achieve. Like Thaddeus Russell's unregistered university hasn't achieved that yet. And so they basically apparently just have a Patreon page, and they want people to give them lots of money so they can teach unaccredited courses. So I think both of these things are pretty hilarious for kind of unfortunate reasons. So to start off with, Shizan, since you haven't been on here in a while, what do you think about these things? I know you haven't heard that much about them yet.
Oh yeah, I've heard about the Bari Weiss and some of those people. Like Tim Dillon kept talking about these people, like they're opening this university there, and I mean they're gonna.
Is Tim Dillon a part of this too?
Probably, yeah.
Oh man,
I would say so.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What's he gonna teach courses on, like how to be a hilarious gay comedian?
No, he wants all the lazy people to start working. Like, get to work, you peasants. Like, like I gave you everything. Like, you get to come to this country now. You better work. You better be my bitch. Yeah. Just keep singing the street. Like,
oh man,
I was like, wow.
Yeah, I didn't recognize all of the people, but I looked up the faculty members on Wikipedia, and those I recognize those people, and also Ayan Hirsi Ali, who's part of the militant atheist crowd. I'm familiar with her from my militant atheist days, and she was forcibly arranged married to a Muslim guy, and I think she got a clitorectomy performed on her and stuff, so she experienced some terrifying shit at the hands of Islam. So it's kind of like understandable that she's so anti-religious, but she's of course still in this militant atheist, like kind of loosely IDW associated crowd. Like she's pals with Sam Harris and people like that. And then
Sam Harris is not associated with this, right?
No, Sam Harris isn't. Yeah, I thought Brett Weinstein was at first, but I looked that up and he's not either. He's just talked favorably about it, of course, because, there are all these radical, brave, canceled intellectuals who are fighting the evil wokeness that's trying to take over society, bro.
Yeah, maybe. I thought wokeness peaked in 2015.
I think it kind of did.
I don't know what's going on. Did Jay Chappelle get canceled? No, not really.
Not really.
It
was like 12. It was like 12 trans people who work at Netflix, and they're like, "Oh, okay. Well, we care about you guys, but we're not going to cancel them."
Yeah. He also stood up to the mob, though. When you come out and and he's got fuck you money, right? So
yeah, for sure.
When you got the multiple things working in your favor there, then yeah, he's uncancelable. I think at this point, I would say.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Netflix would be dumb to drop a guy like Dave Chappelle because even if it's
Well, they would have paid him millions. Like, how much money did he get for those specials? Like a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah,
no,
definitely
100%.
millions. Yeah.
For sure. But Netflix would never like not sign him for an extension or remove all of his specials off their platform because of, you know, he said something against such and such, you know, name your, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Name your newest thing to get mad about.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like how
Did you guys see the? Sorry, go on.
Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So, do you guys see that Kyle Rittenhouse thing? The whole case.
I paid a little bit of attention to it, but
Yeah,
I saw it.
I haven't paid that much attention to it deliberately because it's almost like I don't want to
I
learn
bet it
about
triggered
another
a
one of
lot of
these
people.
cases. It
No,
definitely
it did
triggered a lot of
trigger.
people.
It did. I
Yeah.
saw a lot of people that were upset. But like a lot of the commentators that I follow weren't that upset about it. They kind of saw it coming, and it wasn't really
Yeah,
that
I
big of a
mean-
deal.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
if
you're
you
right.
paid attention to the facts of the case, I think that wasn't that surprising to you. Yeah.
Yeah, because
So,
a lot of commentators that I listen to, like the only reason really they wanted Rittenhouse to get sentenced was to, you know, scowl at the conservatives and say, I told you so. Not because it was like a morally right decision to do, but it's to point at like conservatives and say, hey, your guy sucks and yada, yada, yada. Like, but when these things happen, it's not that you gloat. It's an opportunity to examine if the law worked or not. And if you didn't think it worked, then, you know, in your locality, do something about it. And if you think it worked, then leave it alone. It's
Yeah. I think and this seems like it's gotten so politically polarized, like everything does now, right? Like it seems like more right-leaning people are on the side of Kyle Rittenhouse, that he acted in self-defense, and then more left-leaning people tend to be against him and think that it's part of the racist police that he got off scot-free, basically, or something like that.
Well, by the law, like, did he defend himself? Yes. I can't say that bringing a AR-15 is the morally correct choice to bring it to a social justice, I guess, protest or whatever.
And the
It's
age
also
too,
just-
man. You can't
It's
have a
also
seven.
it's also just not as smart idea either.
Yeah, and age too. I mean, you can't have a 17-year-old.
Yeah, but there's no
cop.
Yeah, currently there's no
Yeah.
punishments for making idiotic decisions like that.
Yeah.
At least not by the law. And I think they examined that gun law, and it wasn't. It was too murky to apply, so it wasn't defined very well. So that's why he got off on the gun charge. I also thought that they shot too high, like the prosecution. I don't know why they were shooting for murder when, I don't know, it seems like a lesser charge than murder. I don't think any of that was premeditated or anything, of course, but even the video, you saw the guy defending himself. The first dude was freaking insane, like clinically insane enough to attack a guy with an AR-15. And the last guy who survived, like, he kind of had a legitimate reason to approach him because he thought he was an active shooter. But even then,
Okay.
he did point the gun at him and whatever. So it's, if the kid didn't bring a gun, none of this shit would have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
don't
can't
know.
see. I think he was specifically targeted because
Shouldn't
he was
his
carrying
mom
that
be
weapon.
like sued? Sorry.
What was
So
that?
What were you saying? My bad. Well, I mean, I was saying that shouldn't his parents be sued for giving
Oh,
him buying him
he's
an assault rifle?
Rittenhouse. He got off criminally, but he can be sued civilly. Like the
Oh, okay.
Okay.
people who, yeah, like a lot of these criminal convictions can be turned into civil convictions. Usually, the media doesn't really pay attention much to the civil convictions unless it's something like Alex Jones telling lies about people. But there's likely going to be some type of trial for a civil trial to sue him, for money or something like that.
Or I can
Yeah.
see him taking the Nick Sandman route and suing for like MSNBC, who was barred from like reporting on the case there because they had one of the reporters chased the bus full of jurors back to where they were staying at.
What?
Mhm.
What the hell did they
Really?
do that for?
Oh wow.
They were told from their higher ups. MSNBC was banned like with 3 days or like a week to go in the trial or whatever because one of the reporters was following the juror bus back to the hotel of where they were staying.
Yeah, that's messed up.
So I mean, like he could sue. I don't know. There's multiple news outlets that also defamed his name as well, calling him like a white supremacist and a murderer or whatever the case, a domestic terrorist, whatever the case may be. So
Did I haven't heard like any mainstream news channels saying anything like that.
that he was like, there was some place, I can't remember where I saw it, but yeah, I mean, it's not like he was portrayed in the media as some kind of like saint, right?
Yeah, like the media thing's tricky because you have to have intentional.
remember
They have to prove
MMA?
intentional lying.
Mhm. I would argue the media is the one that started this whole mess to begin with, right? This all started from, oh man, what's his name? Jacob Blake, is that right? He got
Yeah, that's the
murdered.
guy. Well, no, he survived. He just
He
got
survived.
shot.
That's right. But anyway, there was riots in Kenosha due to the fact of, because it was right after Floyd, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit after that.
Yeah. Anyway, also the police.
Blake
I don't know.
survived. He got paralyzed though, from what I remember.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of left wing people are mad because of that guy, the dude that got stepped on. What's his name?
Dude that got stepped on? I don't know.
George Floyd.
Floyd, yeah, Floyd. So everyone was
Oh.
mad. Everyone was mad because the cop system is biased, right? Biased against other races. Like that's some of the assumptions a lot of people have on the left. So I'm not calling Kyle Rittenhouse racist or the system or the court racist. I think the verdict was fair, but the thing is, I mean, it's obvious that we live in a country where the if a black kid even like had an assault rifle and was there, I think that outcome would have been a lot different. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you guys think it's interesting that also that this is fucking, like, don't get me wrong, I've been somewhat paying attention to the Kyle Rittenhouse story, but at the same, I'm not gonna lie, there's a big part of me that's like, who fucking gives a shit? Because on the other hand,
honestly, that's what my impression has been, which is why I've been deliberately avoiding learning about it. Like, I don't need to learn about all the details of every single case that the media portrays about. Okay, so this person shot this person. Let's all learn everything about it and care a whole lot about the verdict because it has a whole huge effect on us. I mean, that doesn't mean you shouldn't feel bad for any victims in all this thing, in all these sorts of things, but there's nothing really that we can do about it other than complain about it on social media and shit like that.
Yeah, more so where I was going with that is also like Ghislaine Maxwell is on trial as well for all that horrendous shit that's going on.
That seems way more important.
And that seems way more important, but nobody's talking about that at all. And yet the Kyle Rittenhouse case is front page news. And I get it. Like culturally, there's a lot of debates there. You could go the Second Amendment right if you wanted to about should, he have a AR-15? Should he have crossed state lines? He did murder 2 people and shot at another. Why isn't he in charge for any of that stuff? There's a lot of debates to be had there. But at the same time, an even bigger case for like child molestation, millionaires at stake, billionaires, all these high class people that were involved in the Epstein, debacle. That whole case is not talked about at all culturally right now on Twitter or all over social media. So it's not like I don't give a I just think that there's bigger cases that we should be kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I totally agree. I didn't even know that Ghislaine Maxwell was on trial right now. See, that's how
they don't
unreported
have.
it is.
I think on one other reason too is they're not allowing cameras in the courtroom.
Yeah, that's right. That's somebody else made a point on that. There was he's got like cameras in the courtroom, and then they're just doing sketches or some shit. It's like this doesn't fucking make any sense. And he's a minor too, right? So I don't know. But
the judge is the one that decides whether they
that's right. Yeah,
have cameras.
Yep. So anyway, I just think
that's interesting. If you want to put on your tinfoil hat, you could say that's calculated too, to allow cameras in one courtroom but not the other.
It's like everybody's talking about it. Like I go on my Facebook feed or my Instagram, and everybody's got opinion on Kyle Rittenhouse. It's like I'm in Canada, and again, some of these things are like, this is really. It's not even in our, front lawn. It's our backyard. It's like in another country. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah. So the problem is, if you think about World War I and how it started, then that makes a lot of sense why this court is not publicly being watched by people, because the
Ghislaine Maxwell one.
Yeah,
but you can get even though it's not being recorded, there's still reporters in the room. And
they're still reporting on it. It's just like page 6, whereas Kyle Rittenhouse's front page, boom, with the everywhere, and it's on everybody's mind right now. Whereas I haven't seen anybody put up a Instagram.
Well, it's because it sucks, but it seems like issues that are polarizing, politically, are more popular than something that everybody can agree on. That Ghislaine is a pretty much a scumbag of the earth.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Tristan Harris was on Joe Rogan's podcast again, and he was talking about that, how the algorithm is now based on just polarizing topics, even if it's against.
Oh, he was back on? I got to listen to that.
It was actually really interesting.
Yeah, I think that was yesterday. I saw that too. It was interesting.
Interesting, but scary a little bit, because we're all so unprepared for all these kind of, things that are probably going to happen in technology over the next 5, 10, 15 years, whatever, CRISPR technology, etc. Right?
Yeah. Like they were talking about that and hacking capabilities and bioweapons and stuff, and about how the technology is progressing more quickly than our ability to regulate it. And so like they were saying, there aren't really any good options, because you can allow any private citizen to have access to phenomenally dangerous technology, or would you want to go the super authoritarian route like China and have them just control all of this stuff? It's hard to see that there's any good solution to any of this stuff.
Yeah, and they bring up a scary point is that somebody else is going to do it. So, for example, like CRISPR, right?
Yeah, China's working on that already.
Yeah, if we put a stop to it and say, no, we're going to do this, it's ethically and morally incorrect, and we shouldn't be deciding, what baby's hair color is, et cetera, right? Well, if we don't do it, China's going to do it, or Japan's going to do it, or New Zealand's going to, some other country's going to do it. And if they don't, you know what I mean? So there's always that. That's how we are kind of progressing now culturally and through technology, is like, if we're not planning a space force. Well, somebody else is going to plan a space force. You know what I mean? It's gotten to that ridiculous level, which is but we're like,
and they were using that example. They were using that example in the podcast about how that's what led to the development of the nuclear weapon. Well, they're doing this, so if we don't do it, they're going to do it before us, and then they'll have this phenomenally dangerous technology before we do, so we better beat them to the punch.
Yeah, it's like a different types of arms race, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing, just taking it into different realms.
It's just
it's like a technological arms race. What was that?
It's the evolution of the human spirit. I think it's just our brains and our understanding capacities, just and the bandwidth that we can use to suck all this information into our brains is so much that you're gonna see all the science lords going to war against each other. I think I'm scared of
probably
that. You know?
We're gonna need Elon's like brain implants to understand all this shit, because we're not up to par.
unless he's just gonna start controlling all our brains with those. Oh, Chris dropped out there. Hopefully he's back in a sec.
You think it's a master plan for
I don't know.
to control everybody?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, like, I don't know. That's another thing that I don't know what to think about it, because, you know, the best case scenario would be like this sort of utopian society where we can all communicate telepathically, but then would there be problems associated with that, like similar to how there are problems with being addicted to technology because it's like we're wiring our cell phones into our brains? Or like could Elon Musk just decide that he wants to do something bad to everyone's brain implants at once? Or would he be able to engineer something into the hardware to prevent anyone from being able to do this? Like, this sort of possibility has been explored in science fiction a lot, right?
Yeah, cyberpunk, man.
Yeah,
cyberpunk, right? Did you play that game, Dusty?
No, I'm waiting till they fix it. If they are going to fix it. I haven't touched it yet.
Fix what? Like, I played
aren't there like a bunch of bugs and shit in that game?
There's a lot of bugs. There at the start there was. Now it's a lot better, I think.
Well, maybe I'll need to pick it up then.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting storyline. If you like Matrix, definitely should play Cyberpunk. You'd get that VR experience of going to the future, and
plus Neo's in it.
Yeah, plus Neo's in it, you know. And it literally feels like you're jacking into another world, because it's so well made.
Well, I guess with that we could segue into Metaverse.
Yeah.
Metaverse.
Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg.
So he's trying to create Ready Player One. Is that what he's trying to do?
Kind of seems that way. Like, hey, jack into virtual reality on Facebook and you can buy stuff with your Facebook Bitcoin and, you know, communicate virtually with each other on there. I could see that becoming Player One. Hey, you know, with this pandemic, everyone's going on school online now. Why not do it in virtual reality? Then that's safe from everyone getting COVID.
Dude, I'd love to watch like people from all over the world like compete on video games or with like low latency. Like right now the fiber cables it takes a lot of milliseconds for the information to go through the fiber cables. But if that kind of technology advances where in like 0.1 second or like 50 milliseconds you could just send your information to China or something like that. Especially if China opens up and a lot of like starts opening. Okay, I'm going too fast. What was it talking about?
The Ready Player One type of feature that Facebook is trying to implement.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, me, I can play cards with my friends and board games with my friends with AR, right? Because they're like I said, I was recently in Bangladesh, right? And so it's a whole different world. Your internet is you can just talk, like that's as much information, that's the bandwidth you have like talking with people or like reading. That's all. You don't have the bandwidth to
To stream
do what
videos.
we're doing, stream videos and stuff like this. So to them, that's like metaverse. Like this sounds crazy. I mean, a lot of my friends theorized like, are there spaceships out there? Like they've seen UFOs, unidentified aircrafts, but it could easily be possible Russia, China, Japan, or someone's making like some crazy aircrafts that
Yeah.
can that can shit on any USF whatever's, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're making a metaverse, and then everyone's going to go on basic
Yeah.
because there's going to be
And
nothing to do.
And then
It's not
and
gonna
then
be
it'll
basic.
progress so much that you won't be able to distinguish between reality and the metaverse. And then there will be people who become aliens in the metaverse, and then people will think that they're aliens in reality because they think they're in the metaverse when they're in reality.
Yes, and then all
That's
people
true.
will look like humans from that one Pixar movie.
Yeah.
I forgot the name
Wall-E?
of it. Wall-E. Yeah,
Wall-E, yeah,
everyone
where
will
they're
turn
all
into.
fat.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah,
will get fat because they're just
they're all
going to be
fat,
jacked
so
in.
fat that they can't walk. Yeah, they're just perpetually jacked in. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris, we were just talking about the metaverse there.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, sorry, my power flickered here. So,
Okay.
apparently, and not to give too much away on that Joe Rogan, Tristan Harris, but apparently Mark Zuckerberg wants to be seen as this kind of Elon Musk
Of
super
course he does.
inventor.
He does not have the charisma for that.
No, I know, but he wants to
Or
be
the
like
intellect.
he wants to be seen as this super like Tesla-esque figure who's like, invented all this stuff. So that's why the metaverse is like this kind of like, even though it's probably will be nothing, it's his way of like trying to like be creative and be like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
I see the metaverse as like, because he's constantly evolving Facebook and changing it, right? He's making small changes, and people don't even realize like Facebook how much has changed from 15 years. Like it's not the same Facebook. This is metaverse, dude. You're
Yeah,
not
we
living
went
in
from
your bubble. You're not living in your bubble with your little buddies,
Yeah, of course.
remember Farmville
Like
and Mafia Wars? Those
I
were the
remember
days.
Mafia Wars. I used to play that. Yeah, like that's one of the things that Tristan Harris talks about in that podcast, right? About how there didn't used to be the algorithm which would feed you into getting as addicted to your phone as possible with whatever will glue you to your phone or to Facebook or social media as much as possible. And usually that's the most inflammatory content because it is more likely to get people to respond.
Yeah, divisive garbage.
Or
Yeah.
you can just say that, okay, I think I've had too much of all this metaverse stuff and YouTube metaverse, Bari Weiss information, and this whole Joe Rogan IDDDF circle, is I don't know. It's things are
Yeah, I think it's
changing.
funny.
And people are still doing the basic stuff. Their creativity is like so low. It just the Tesla. That's all you could come up with. I mean, people were suppressing electric vehicles so hard. The bullies, the oil bullies. Those Crusader Kings, right? And so
Crusader Kings 2?
Yeah, I don't know. It's Crusader Kings 50 or 500 at this point. I don't even know.
Yeah, for sure.
They're like, no, these are vampires. The desert, these vampires are gonna get us. We should shoot them down. Here they come. These vampires.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're molesting kids over there, guys. You won't believe.
Yeah.
You won't believe what I saw. Afghanistan. Oh my God, dude. Like, fuck off, kid. Like, go back and play hero in your stupid state, in your stupid fucking Texas or whatever. Drive your muscle car. Shut the fuck up, all right?
Yeah, the people like that get more and more sounding like QAnon people, right? Like we've talked before. I think especially you and I, Dusty, about how the the anti-woke people can become like just as ideological as the woke people. It's like the
they're becoming like a caricature of
like the
what they're fighting
anti-SJWs.
against.
That's basically what Bari Weiss wants to do with her anti-SJW universities. Start getting people to pay to be indoctrinated with their anti-SJW ideology and go around. They're gonna teach like James Lindsay stuff. It reminds me of that. They're gonna go around saying, listen, they want you to teach everyone critical race theory, and that means that you should hate America and white people are always evil. Okay, they're trying to teach you this, so you have to go around and say America good. Okay, America good.
No, I don't think every 5 minutes someone just shows up and it's not. Thank you for your service. Like, dude, come on. The service. I mean, I get it. Like, why doesn't he why doesn't he be a cop? All right. If you want to be a cop, sit the fuck down, chill, learn, go to cop school, be a fucking cop. You don't need to be this, movie hero in real life. If you want to be a movie hero, do it on Facebook. Do it on Civilization or something. If you really think you have got the software to match my hardware, I mean, like, do that. I mean, why are you... Self-driving cars, yeah. I mean, that's pretty awesome,
I thought it was gonna be like more like Thaddeus Russell School or like Real Courses Plus, where they have certain people that would teach. You know what I mean? Like Bari Weiss would teach journalism.
They actually have a physical building, though.
Do they?
The University of Austin. Yeah,
well,
they already do.
From what I heard of the physical building is just like a random house.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Someone looked up the address and it was like some house in a residential neighborhood. Like they don't even have like a real like university building or anything like that. It's not even an office building. Like
it could end up being something like Renegade University or like PragerU or something. The former of which I think is phenomenally better than the latter, which are just like podcasts and people can pay money for them and whatnot, which I think is relatively harmless if that's the case.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be. I never took it as like some kind of like they were trying to be Harvard or some shit where they're, you know what I mean? Like,
well, are they trying to get accredited or something like that?
Yeah, they are. It's really hard to do though. Like Thaddeus Russell hasn't managed to do that yet either.
Yeah.
Well, because you got to build facilities. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I wonder what the bare minimum is for qualifying as a facility, though. Like, is that why they bought that building? Like, or does it have to be a building of a certain size?
I don't know. Maybe they can like rent space or something. I really don't know how it works to become accredited.
Yeah. I don't. It's like. I don't know. I might be the only one here that's not here to shit on this whole idea, but I think that it's, I mean, it's smart for a marketing perspective for these guys. I think that all of them have just increased in popularity over the last 5 or maybe since 2016, right? Like, I was checking the other day, like Dave Rubin. I can remember when Dave Rubin had like 25,000 YouTube subscribers. He's over 1 million subscribers now on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Which is
like
fucking
the king of fighting the evil wokesters,
which is insane to me. I can't, like, I don't even think Young Turks has 1 million, or maybe they just do themselves, right? So he's like, but still, like Peter Boghossian, James Lindsay, all these guys you've never heard of before 3 or 4 years ago, and love them or hate them, you know who they are if you're paying attention to any kind of like podcast, especially Joe Rogan, because he's had all these people on, and that's what kind of started them all. So
if they want to be rich, and famous, they should just be honest about that.
Yeah.
Well, they're already kind of rich and famous, right? I think. I
don't think James Lindsay's rich.
No, I don't think so either. But I mean, like, I think
he's famous.
I think they're not having second jobs. Like, they're making enough to do what they're doing, which is, I don't know what Lindsay does now. Does he just like have I thought he was just writing books or something. Wasn't he just an author? Or he's the Grievance Studies guy, right? So
He also has a YouTube channel called The New Discourses where
Yeah.
he goes on these long ass rambles saying a whole bunch of completely uninformed bullshit about philosophy and connecting it to postmodernism and critical race theory and critical theory and Marxism as if they're all these evil, coherent ideology of wokeness, even though wokeness is far more incoherent than that.
Yeah, so he's making a living off of just that. He's not like he's tutoring kids on the side or some shit, right? Same with like
Probably not. Probably
no.
not.
Like I know Peter Boghossian, he was a teacher until recently, and then he just got. Did he just leave or retire or just?
I think
resigned, I believe.
He resigned.
I think he
Okay.
resigned because of the evil wokeness.
Yeah, so like he's probably just moving from one career on to the other career, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure he could. They could probably all make a living this way. I mean,
Yeah, same with like
they-
the Weinsteins. The Weinsteins were teachers, and now they make a living just off of just podcasts and shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
I mean, if they're just gonna
Yeah.
be if they're just gonna all be like popular YouTubers and people with Substacks, I don't really have a problem with that.
I don't
If
have a problem
that's
with
all-
it either. I think the market will ultimately tell if this is going to last or not, right? If they have some good ideas and they have some good courses, people sign. If it's expensive, people aren't going to sign up. You know what I mean? There's so many factors to this.
But for sure, if they're like alien beings that can travel space, I'm pretty sure they're gonna find the IDW like seriously hilarious. We're intellectuals, by the way. We're so smart. Only our school will be able to produce. Like what?
Yeah.
You're just some, dumb pews and like. I mean, I've seen these dumb pews a lot of. Yeah. They exist, but they're pretty lucky. They're the first one to develop the advanced software, so they're way ahead of the game right now.
Who is sorry?
Sorry, I was talking about a video game.
Oh, you know what? I just
okay.
found out about her college because
What?
apparently Steven Pinker was going to be part of that, and he's not anymore.
Oh, okay. When I looked that up on Wikipedia the other day, it said it was part of the faculty. So it must
And
have.
also Robert Zimmer, who was the chancellor of Chicago University, is also parting ways.
Okay. I think another person who was mentioned was Larry Summers, who was like majorly involved with all of the like 2008 financial stock market crash, and he was one of those university intellectuals. I think it was at Stanford or Harvard, who was all about bailing out the banks and kind of like selling a whole bunch of financial bullshit to people, which is why a lot of lefties in particular don't like him.
Why would they?
Ooh.
Why would they have him there?
Oh, because he's like a heterodox anti-woke guy.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
What the hell are they going to be teaching? That's what I don't get.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I don't know either.
It seems like culture war bullshit.
Well,
courses
scientific
to me.
method. Are they trying to teach the scientific method, which every
Nothing wrong with that.
university does? Yeah, every university does that. So what's so
Yeah.
special again?
But
You guys are
they teach
canceled.
they teach the non-woke scientific method though, because
Oh damn! The most sophisticated lens one can put on.
But didn't
Totally.
Bari Weiss, didn't she cancel herself?
Did she?
Yeah, she quit.
Oh yeah, by leaving the New York Times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've seen people point out about her before is that she's this uber free speech advocate, but when she was in college, she protested and tried to get people canceled for supporting Palestine because she's one of those super pro-Israel, anti-Palestine people, I think.
Right. I'm pretty sure there's not gonna be any pro-Palestine professors at our university.
Probably not. No. Probably no courses on critical race theory or critical theory or Marxism or postmodernism by people who have actually read any of those books either.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out what the hell they're supposed to be teaching. Like the only thing I found out is they're supposed to have a summer program full of forbidden courses, but they don't even tell us what those are.
I saw that. I saw that. Forbidden
Like, what
courses.
the hell? Like, what does that mean?
Secret courses.
Yeah, that's how you form a cult, basically.
Forbidden
Yes.
courses. We're
That's
going
like
to teach you the
Scientology.
great. We're going
This
to
is
teach you the
basically
great
like
forbidden
dental-
books like Mark Twain.
I kind of consider this like this seems to me just like a secular version of Scientology.
It kind of is that way a little bit.
It's like, we're not going to tell you what we're going to teach. They're
No,
forbidden.
It's gonna
You
be
have to pay.
it's gonna be unaccredited. It's gonna be behind a paywall. It's just gonna be like, I don't know. It's gonna be not a money making scheme, but I feel like it's just, I don't know.
I think it's weird. Like, we already have podcasts and shit that talk about all this. Like, what are they going to offer that's not already there in the ether?
Nothing. But they're unique and special. They're
Yes,
all
like,
super
listen to
hyper
this.
intelligent, man. Oh yeah.
Listen to this 10-minute segment of Joe Rogan ranting about trans in sports. And then we're going to analyze this segment and affirm Joe Rogan's position.
Yeah.
It's like that's like literally the exact opposite of what they would do in some wokeness class. They would literally show the same Joe Rogan clip and say, "Listen, we're going to show you evidence of transphobia in Joe Rogan, okay?"
If it becomes that, though, it's definitely bound to fail. I mean, if they just hammer down on just anti-woke stuff all day, I can't see this as anybody taking it really that serious.
Though it depends on how anti-woke people are, though. Like some people really are in the anti-woke ideology.
What's this brief summary of, like, what do you guys mean by woke? I've heard it a lot of times, but I can't comprehend it maybe fully. What's woke?
Woke is just like SJW gibberish,
Okay.
stuff that they say.
And well, like a whole bunch with all of their catchphrases that they think a whole bunch of intellectuals say that they actually don't say, and they have the most extreme interpretations of this, and then go around whining about shit and oppression and trying to get people canceled and trying to change everything to please them.
Yeah.
Well, some people deserve getting canceled, though. Like, what's that guy's Weinstein's little brother? Brett Weinstein?
Brett Weinstein? I don't think he deserves getting canceled. I just think he's spreading a bunch of misinformation.
He's confusing parasite pills for COVID pills or something like that, right?
Yeah,
and he's like demonstrating a lack of scientific literacy as a scientist too. Like he's saying, "Oh, ivermectin got proved this way by this study that wasn't replicated, in which they also took a whole bunch of other things along with ivermectin," or "Oh, this ivermectin study proved this one that had to be retracted," and stuff like that.
Honestly, like when I had COVID like last year near the first wave.
Oh, really?
So you got the good COVID.
Yeah. So that during that time, sorry, what was the other thing I was saying a second ago? Do you remember?
Ivermectin.
Oh yeah, ivermectin, right? So ivermectin. Joe Rogan's like, I got this cocktail, and in one day I'm healed. And so I was like, it took me like 3 days, and I didn't take shit and got healed, bitch. Like, what? You're supposed to be. I'll take my vaccine and I'll be happy, all right? I don't need a concussion of fucking weird ass medicines and biomodifications like Orochimaru.
You just gotta get monoclonal antibodies and ivermectin and steroids and a whole bunch of other shit, man.
Bro, you're never gonna live.
You're never gonna live. You can totally afford that in the States, right? You guys can all totally afford that there, like the thousands of dollars or however much it costs.
Yeah, you can go to all this. You can get the ingredients, and you can look up like supplements that has those ingredients. And if you know a chemist, then they can help you with that. But yeah, I don't know about Joe Rogan's meds. Just it seems like he has a supplement business, and his whole podcast is about you better build that body, bitch. You gotta be a warrior.
I get the impression that
Mm.
his doctor prescribed that to him. That's what I.
Yeah. I don't think he has a supplement business anymore. I don't think he's with On It anymore.
I still
Yeah,
think
because I never hear any On It ads anymore.
he was pimping him. He mentioned them the other day.
Did
Who's
he?
he talking to?
Oh, okay.
You're right. He's not pimping him as much as he used to, but he still was name dropping him the other day.
Okay. I thought he might have said that he's not working with them anymore. Just because it's one of those things where he's doing a million different things and he doesn't want to have that level of responsibility on top of all the other responsibility he has.
Well, he doesn't need to with that big payout from Spotify.
Yeah, exactly. He can have like his two jobs plus go hunting all the time and work out and have an awesome life probably.
Yeah, he's got fuck you money. He's a big boy. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. So Aubrey Marcus is probably just doing everything now.
Cool.
That's how
He's
I
a great
feel
guy.
when I go to a third world country. I feel like if you ever want to feel like Joe Rogan, or if you want to have that experience, what might be going on in a IDW's mind, just go to a third world country. Just go to a third world country, make some friends there, like chill out, leave all this technology for a month or something, and you'll understand where these IDWs come from. Like, there's IDWs all over the world. IDWs, we're IDWs.
Listen, I love the intellectual dark web, okay? These immigrants are coming here and they're taking my job, and I'm so
That's
smart.
perfect.
I'm an intellectual.
Yeah,
I don't even think the IDW exists anymore, though. I mean, like individually, they're all still popular and within their own. They have their own.
Yeah, a lot of them
broke
broke up.
But like as a whole, like group or whatever, I just don't. A lot of them don't get along with each other anymore. And
like Sam Harris broke up with Dave Rubin a long time ago, and then more recently he broke up with Brett Weinstein over the vaccine stuff.
But if you were to interview them individually, they would all probably denounce themselves from the IDW. You know what I mean? Like, you were to sit down with Sam Harris, you'd probably be like, no, I'm not a part of that. Or Eric Weinstein, or even though he created it. Or, Dave Rubin or Joe Rogan or whoever you want to throw in.
That's why I
think they would all be like, no, I'm not a part of that at all, right? Because they're all see themselves as being an individual.
That's why part of me wonders if Bari Weiss is trying to like reignite the intellectual dark web with this university thing and try to get on Joe Rogan's podcast again, because it's called the University of Austin where he lives now. That's the like ultimate grifter prediction, though. That might not be true.
So there's like many layers into your like social class layers, right? There's a bunch of classes based on incomes and neighborhoods and stuff. So
yeah.
Joe Rogan is below the class of billionaires, right? So Joe Rogan or all these celebs sometimes get played around with these billionaire classes, and for entertainment. And what they do is they get bullied. Like when you get bullied at school, you start later in life you start to get some bully mentalities, right? When someone gets bullied, and that's what I think is going on with Joe Rogan's, and they're getting bullied by the billionaire class, and they kind of have to throw their spit at someone else. It just goes down and down, and that's how it is.
I don't think Joe Rogan's really attacking anyone most of the time, though. Well, I guess he attacks like people if they attack him, like he attacked CNN for saying that he was taking a horse dewormer. And I don't
think he answers to shit, I think he's his own person, whether he's like,
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, CNN's technically correct, right? It's a horse dewormer or what?
Yeah, but it's I think that like he's wrong that they were lying about it, but they were deliberately presenting it in the least charitable possible way. And because it is a horse dewormer, but he was not taking a horse dewormer, he was taking the human version. So it is really shitty what they did to him at the very least.
They were all saying horse dewormer, which is strange. It's a veterinary medicine too, right? Like you could say it's cat, cat dewormer or chicken dewormer or something, but they never said any of that. Every single one of them said horse dewormer, which means that they're all like they're following one another, and you know what I mean. There's no, I don't know. It's weird that Gupta's on his show saying horse, or CNN saying horse dewormer, and then Pete Davidson's on SNL saying horse dewormer.
Yeah.
Nobody else is saying like goat dewormer or anything like that.
Yeah, or even like anything totally different, like just horse medicine or like squid medicine or something like that.
But I think there's it's said like that to frame a point, whereas like it's like there's a grossness, like a ew factor to it. You know what I mean? There's an intent behind that. When you say horse dewormer to the general idiot out there that doesn't pay attention to cultural politics, they're like, he's taking fucking horse dewormer? Oh my God, right? That sounds absolutely insane, right? But
or horse paste.
Somebody prescribed that to him.
Is he getting some glue and snorting some horse glue or something, man?
Yeah.
Right, I have a picture of the building that this address for the university. It's just a freaking house. So let's take a look.
It's Peter Boghossian's house.
So this is it. It's a house.
Oh wow!
Can you see it? I can't.
Wow.
It's a big house.
It's nice, but
that's the university.
They're all gonna live in. Oh, it's just they're gonna teach from that house, right?
I guess so.
It's like 10.
Are they gonna have
like 10
orgies? Orgies? No, is it for orgies? Wild orgies? Is that what they do over there?
Can you imagine?
Maybe that's the forbidden knowledge classes. Listen, we're gonna teach you all how to have orgies. I bet you like the forbidden classes now, don't you?
That's why Pinker's out. Pinker's like 80 and he can't get it up anymore, right? So he's like, fuck this, man, guys.
It requires too much stamina.
I think he is. I think Steven Pinker's up there. He's like, now I want to Wikipedia.
Yeah, I thought he was like in the late 60s or something.
Is he? Okay.
I don't think it was 80.
But they're all Harvard. Are they all like Harvard educated or like
something like that?
Well,
67, you're right. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
One thing I noticed is that people tell you that they are this and they're that, and then you have to kind of talk to them and figure out what they are, or go to their house or something, and then you figure out where they are. Because, what was he talking about?
I don't know, man.
The university system.
The building of the university?
Yeah.
Well, which again, I would love to go to a school where like a lot of good Harvard students are like building a school to teach people with genuine like interest to teach people. I would love that, but I think these people are grifters and they push their own agenda, you know?
I found some more information about the programs. So one of them is the beginning summer 2022 is the forbidden courses. It says, our Forbidden Courses summer program invites top students from other universities to join us for a spirited discussion about the most provocative questions that often lead to censorship or self-censorship in many universities.
So it's going to be culture war shit. It's culture war shit courses.
Let's talk about culture war shit. And
let's have a debate. Is transgender activism taking over society?
You can just watch Debate Squared and
aren't like trans people like what percentage of people are trans people?
Like
trans people women. Yeah, it's pretty low.
Yeah,
like, it's gender a social construct. Yes,
It's like
it fucking is.
4% or something. Yeah, I mean, they're like 4% or like 3% of a state or something like that. They're like out of 100 people, there's like three of these crazy motherfuckers that you can leave alone, or you can go against a war, like a crusade against these people. Like, oh my god, their culture is gonna destroy everything that is America. Like, shut the
And
fuck up,
apparently they're
man.
also going to have a entrepreneurship and leadership and masters in arts program.
Oh,
Oh,
that sounds
in the
good.
here
But they're saying
here
they're
it
trying to
says
recruit students from other schools. I don't really get that.
maybe that's part of like a thing. Well, they'll get kids from other schools there, so they don't have to actually have people registered in like at their school full time, like a way to get around the minimum requirements or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because it looks like it's postgraduate. Like the programs that they're offering are masters, so supposedly.
Through-
So we get politics and applied history. That sounds so fucking like Heinlein Starship Troopers.
yeah,
Do you know what I'm talking about, Andrew?
yeah, yeah,
Like that class that they had to take?
yeah.
Like moral.
The virtues of a unified state.
And then education and public service in 2023, and programs in technology, engineering, and math, and that's to be determined. You could take those anywhere.
Lex
You could
Friedman.
take technology, you could take engineering and math at literally any college, and it doesn't really matter because it's not like you're going to go into a calculus class and your teacher's going to be talking about woke bullshit. That
Well, I
doesn't
don't know. Who
happen.
knows? Maybe they'll teach you woke calculus, bro.
The derivative of this equation is actually acceleration, but I don't. It's not
Actually, the
acceleration.
correct answer for that is racist, so there is no correct answer.
Oh no. Yeah, they're going to teach you that derivatives are racist.
Yep, because it's oppressive towards marginalized people of color.
These
'Cause it's-
people, they're calculating volumes of like weird shaped objects. How are they doing it? I know they're smart. How are they doing this? They shouldn't be able to do this. They live in a desert. These dumb fucks. What the fuck? Like, they have an agenda. They're assassins. This is assassin versus Templar going on for centuries, man. You don't even know.
Listen, they're all sleeper cells, okay? They're paired with the interdimensional child molesters and they want to kidnap your children and drink their blood, okay? I have the documents.
Yes.
Oh,
volume
I
is
just
racist.
looked up the percentage of trans people in the US and it looks like the average
Less
per
than
state is
1%.
around. This one from 2015 to 2016 says an average of like 4 or 5%.
I don't believe that.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, that's like 5 out of 100 people. I don't believe that. Like if you go to school with like 500 people, they're saying that there's going to be like 20 trans people there. I doubt it.
Out of 500?
Yeah, that's what it's
Yeah,
saying.
that's a lot.
I don't think that's right or true.
That's just what it said on Wikipedia. I'm gonna look for other sources.
Is it saying like in America or like globally or?
That was the number in 3 different states.
Oh, which states?
It was let me go back. One of them was California. I forget what the other one was. California, Texas, and New York. It said 4.8% in California, 3.6% in Texas, 4.5% in New York.
Really? That seems high. That's like the gay, almost reaching like the gay percentage.
Yeah, like 10. It's roughly 10% for gay, something like that.
Yeah, under 10%.
Yeah.
Man, I was just looking up how many subscribers Bari Weiss and Andrew Sullivan have, and they both have.
Don't they have over 1 million?
No, not a million. It's in the 100,000s for sure.
Who's Andrew Sullivan?
Who's Andrew Sullivan? Andrew Sullivan is a journalist that he's kind of a heterodox guy.
What? Jonathan Haidt is one of the advisors for this. Why, Jonathan?
Oh man, really?
Yeah.
Terrible. Oh, okay. If you go in this article, it says
Glenn
if you go
Lowry
by...
is on there.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
He's pretty anti-woke, but I think he's way better than any of those other people we mentioned.
Mm-hmm. They're both professors, though, so I'm sure they're just there to give their kind of, to be as advisors and give their input. I can't see them teaching a course.
Yeah,
Lex Friedman is an advisor.
that'd be interesting. Maybe he would actually teach something useful, like something about AI.
Yeah. So she's got some interesting names. Again, if it's like if it's doubling down on woke bullshit, yeah, it's not going to go that far. But
I would definitely love to learn machine learning from Lex or something. That'd be interesting.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
If that's what happens and it goes that route, like, yeah, if he's teaching like engineering or some shit, then yeah, this has potential. But if it's just going to be like out of that house and wokeism 101, then yeah, it's going to fail miserably.
I can't see Lex Fridman teaching a course like that. He doesn't seem very anti-woke.
Well, he seems pretty busy too. Like the guy is fucking MIT designing robots, and then he has his own podcast. And
yeah. So apparently it says studies from several nations, including the U.S., conducted at varying time periods have produced a statistical range of 1.2 to 6.8% of the adult population identifying as LGBT. So that's a pretty broad range. That is higher than I thought it was, though. But again, this is just Wikipedia here, too. I haven't looked at other sources yet.
Okay. Yeah, did you see that did Reed send you that link to like critical thinking game show or whatever that is?
Oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at it. Did you?
You didn't answer you have to answer like a questionnaire.
Okay.
And then there's like some type of debate portion or something.
Okay.
Steel Man or Straw Man, I think is the name of the debate show.
Right.
This sounds
Steel Man or Straw Man.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. Yeah, I would do that. I just I limit my responses on my phone because I get tons of messages and I don't want to get addicted to it.
That's a good practice.
Yeah, turn off all notifications.
I wonder what would happen if James Lindsay saw our talk with Reed.
That would be cool. I would be open to talking with him about all that stuff, about critical race theory and whatnot.
Yeah.
I would be a lot nicer in person too.
A lot nicer in person.
Yeah. Well, in virtual person.
For sure. Oh.
I think it's because we basically said D'Angelo and Kennedy are crazy.
Yeah.
But they're also not CRT.
Yeah, exactly.
Because one of the questions on Reed's questionnaire is like, is CRT Marxist? It's like, huh?
No.
It's like asking, I hate those types of arguments, and I already have a logical defense against that. So if someone's going to say that and try to defend it, what I would tell to the other person, I would ask them, okay, so if you discriminate against Muslims, are you being racist? Because I'm just swapping ideology with race, and is that also racist too? Like, you can't just swap one thing and still it's Marxism. Oh, it's suppression against racism. That means you're swapping out race with class. It's still different. It still doesn't
Yeah.
mean that it's Marxism.
Well, critical race theorists talk about race. Marxists talk about class. Like, that's basically their main focal points for each of them. They're not a unified ideology. They look at the same types of problems from completely different angles.
Right. Right, that's dumb. I don't know.
Like, would you ask, are Marxists critical race theorists? No, they don't talk about race.
Yeah. Well, at least not. Like, I was reading, or at least reading an analysis of the Communist Manifesto, and there's like nothing about race mentioned at all.
No.
Nothing about race.
Even Jordan Peterson read the Communist Manifesto, and I highly doubt that he would say, although I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either, but I kind of doubt that he would say that it's all about race, because that's not a focus of the book at all.
And even the oppressor versus the oppressed, that's a Hegelian thing that actually started with Hegel.
Well, not really a oppressor versus slave. Well, it's kind of like that. Like, there's the master-slave dialectic, but that's different. That's different from what a lot of people think it is too. And it's also not Marxism. And Marx rejected that dialectic and went for a totally different form of history than Hegel did with dialectical materialism. Like, he was associated with Marx by turning one of his main theories on its head and rejecting it. So,
Yeah.
like, connecting Marx to Hegel, that's like saying, dude, Jesus was a Jew. Well, yeah, he was. Jesus was a Jew, and then a new religion formed around him called Christianity.
Yeah, and you can use the
Because
same.
it rejected Judaism.
Yeah, and they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. The same people wouldn't use the argument that Thomas Sowell was a socialist.
Yeah, because he used to be a socialist, but he's not anymore. That's like that debate with Ben Burgess and Charlie Kirk, when Charlie Kirk said, "Did you know that Marx was a young Hegelian?" Well, yeah, he was, but then he stopped being one.
Yeah, it's like, did you know that Thomas Sowell was a socialist? Yeah,
Yeah.
He stopped being a socialist.
Like 50 years ago.
Did you know that Candace Owens used to be an SJW?
Yeah, before she got famous.
Before she was a white supremacist.
Yeah. Did you know that Dave Rubin used to be a progressive? Well, he talks about that all the time. He does.
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't leave the left, okay? The left left me.
The Rubin voice.
Left is so crazy. What was his
I'm just
talking
all
point?
about
I forget.
ideas, man. I just talked to Jordan Peterson for 90 minutes, and I'm just recovering from all these high-level intellectual ideas, man.
The grift is strong.
I should go to Bari Weiss's University of Austin and experience all these high-level intellectual ideas. Maybe Trump's university, that would be even better. Even higher-level intellectual ideas.
Is he involved? He's not involved in it, is he? Is Dave
No,
Rubin?
no, I don't
Rubin?
I don't think so.
Know.
He's involved
I
with
didn't see his name
PragerU.
there.
He's in PragerU. He's an intellectual over that prestigious university.
He's at PragerU?
Yeah, he's done some PragerU videos.
Oh, okay.
I think like his show is being funded by PragerU for a while or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Or it's either that or Glenn Beck's network.
The Blaze
Forget
TV.
which one.
I think that's
Yeah,
where he's
something
on. He's on. I think he's basically with Glenn Beck's network now.
Hmm.
And I just finished a Glenn Beck book, and it was actually decent.
Oh, really? Which one?
It's called Addicted to Outrage.
Is that like biographical, or is it supposed to be a criticism?
Yeah, it's both. So basically, he's trying to say that he's a recovering outrage addict, And
I don't think he's recovered.
Not me neither, but the book he does get very biographical in the book when he's talking about addictions that he's had, like alcohol. But he does recognize how partisan hackery is like basically destroying the country. And the only time he found out about this is when he denounced Trump. So as soon as like he was a Trump hater from the beginning. So I guess he's mad that, I don't know. Like I was listening to the audiobook, and yeah, he says like a bunch of right-wing things, but he has a lot of good points regarding like how profitable outrage is and how it is kind of like an addiction that people get emotionally high off of outrage. You know,
that's interesting. Yeah,
social medias are cashing in on that huge right now. Like I was mentioning earlier, like Facebook and Twitter, like the amount of posts that people do these days aren't that, like nobody really posts that much as they used to, right? Facebook noticed that a lot of the posts are coming from like arguments on comment sections or within like kind of like those groups that you join, like mixed mental arts group, for example, right? So what they did was they highlighted those comments, right? You see all your friends commenting on newspaper sections and articles, or you see all your buddies commenting in the mixed mental arts and back and forth and stuff like that. But the post from your aunt and uncle or your buddy that's in San Diego, you don't see that shit anymore, right? It's all taken over because that creates the outrage that makes you come back to the platform.
Yeah.
That makes, you know what I mean?
It's like, oh, the first thing I see when I go on Facebook or Twitter or anywhere is another post from the same person who pissed me off last time. What a coincidence.
You know what I've started doing though is like I see dumb posts all the time, and from people I love and enjoy. And I used to be like, fuck, what an idiot that person is, right? But I've been trying lately to switch my mind, like, not that person's an idiot. Fuck Twitter, Facebook, whatever platform I'm on, fuck them for making me see that.
That's a way better approach.
And bam, I'm out of this platform. I got to leave now. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I blame it on the platform and not so much, because everybody thinks dumb ideas, myself included. I fucking tweet stupid shit all the time, right? And people are like, probably like, Chris, why'd you fucking say that shit, right? But if the platform is highlighting that for you and throwing it in your face, and it's something that's like, well, political or something like that, you know, like I try to get more angry now, and not the individual, but the platform for putting that, you know, first.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah. That's like one thing that like I get addicted to that sort of thing sometimes, but actually like most of the time on Twitter in particular, because most of the people I follow are other like small time creative people like me. I don't see that much negativity. And then on Facebook, I don't even look at my notifications anymore, and I get sucked back into the negativity on YouTube comments for sure sometimes. But now I get enough comments. I don't get a ton, but I get enough that I can just click on the positive comments and ignore the negative ones if I want to, which is kind of like halfway to the Joe Rogan approach of just ignoring them.
It's negative back and forth is highlighted too. I know I've seen a lot of you and Sam's bulldog going back and forth in my Twitter.
Oh yeah. I think he muted me now. I think I pissed him off too much.
But I know it's not like I know those conversations are probably going on all the time, but I know it's Twitter also taking that and highlighting it in my feed for me to like also engage in that and comment on it as well. Hey, you know, I think this, Sam or Andrew or whatever, right? It's to get me involved in that conversation too.
That's why, like on YouTube, all that YouTuber drama gets the most attention, right?
Yeah, I know. Recently, Sam posted something religion peace. You know, a criticism, like always trying to tie some terroristic attack to being a fundamental tenet of a certain religion. Like, come on, guy.
Oh man.
Yeah, Sam Harris kind of his book, the first one, was on
End
Christianity,
of Faith?
right? Yeah.
Is
It was
that
about
one End of
Christianity,
Faith?
right?
Yeah. I'm pretty
End of
sure.
Faith.
Or
And
no, I think the Christian one was Letter to a Christian Nation. Yeah.
oh yeah. So on that one, when he was marketing that book, he was he had a lot of fire about how Christianity is bad and all that. So I
Mhm.
don't know if he's biased. I mean, he might not be a biased guy.
Definitely biased.
He's biased.
Definitely hates
Yeah.
religion. He's biased. He's
Yeah, he
biased.
really hates religion.
he's
He
like
hates
the-
religion so much that he wrote a book trying to justify what scientific
science can-
morality.
that science can give you moral values. Yeah.
That you can
That's
derive
true.
morality from science.
Yeah.
That's all ridiculous.
Yeah. He's just like the
and his
anti-woke
polls-
ideological people, but he's that way towards religion. He's kind of anti-woke too, though, I guess.
Yeah,
he's
he's
kinda
pretty
anti-woke.
anti-woke.
Yeah.
He likes to talk about people getting mad at him for hosting, like Charles Murray and people like that.
Yeah.
Charles
That's the
Murray
thing,
is
that's-
definitely biased. Like, I've read enough of his
When
books.
you're
to
younger
know.
and you're a student, like when you're younger and you're like, because all this Sam Harris stuff was when I was like a teenager, right? So
Yeah, me too. Yeah. That was before
So-
I discovered mixed mental arts and Jonathan Haidt and realized, oh, you don't have to hate religion. It's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah, I didn't know
it
about
has a
Sam
place
Harris.
in the world, right?
What was that?
I never
And
knew about
religion
him.
has a- Okay, no.
You
Oh,
guys
sorry,
are
go
both
ahead.
talking at once.
Well,
Good.
Go ahead, Shizan.
okay. So religion. Sorry, what was it talking about?
Sam Harris.
Sam Harris, right? So Sam Harris, yeah. The only thing I worry about is he's secretly really he's a very rational person and he makes good points. The problem is that sometimes some people just have a weird reaction. They get a totally different vibe than what other people around are getting, right? For
Yeah, for
example, for you three are not that Islamophobic, but if I was talking to Sam Harris and making this argument, I just feel like you'd get more mad. I think I kind of it's hard for me to tell, but I sense some kind of Islamophobic vibes from like not only me, like I've shown those videos to a lot of people. Yeah, you get a lot of Islamophobic vibes from that guy. It's like
I think he's just religion phobic.
Yeah,
Like any religion.
yeah.
But he does
Yeah,
say
he-
that Islam is
yeah.
worse, but I don't agree with that either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was talking about the poll. That's what I forgot. He took those dumbass polls, right? Because in the
On Twitter or
Muslim
something
world,
like that?
no. He's taking these polls like Muslims. Is it okay to kill
Oh,
a
right.
Christian or something like that? These polls, and I don't know
Right.
who he was selecting, but those were the times there were wars going on in Afghanistan and Iraq and Libya, right?
Mhm.
There were a lot of wars going on in that region at that time, and
Mm.
ISIS was trying to conquer the Islamic world. A lot of shit going on. So yeah, I think that mindfucked Sam Harris, and he got so scared that he's Islamophobic now.
I
He
think he
seems
made
like-
like a bunch of arguments, like, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't
Yeah,
hassle
it's
like
not- it's
white
not-
people
What?
at the airport because
That's
they're not
another-
going to
that's
be
another thing-
terrorists."
That's another thing that, like, just like critical race theory and postmodernism and Marxism and critical theory, if you actually read these supposedly terrifying books that people talk about, they're not as scary as you think they are. Like, I told you a while ago when I read the Quran, Dusty, and I was thinking it's not that different from the Bible, really, and it's not that much worse. I mean, I like the Bible more because there's some
more
beautiful
organized,
poetry, and like the Book of Revelations is like this psychedelic dream about a sword coming out of Jesus's mouth and fighting dragons and shit like that. So I like
It's a
I like that.
fantasy story.
Basically, yeah. So like the Quran is just less interesting to me, but it's not. There's no more brutal shit in there than there is in the Bible. It's not like a worse theological book.
It's more. It's like a pirate who pirated someone else's book. You know, it's like
It basically is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I listen to like I don't know what you call them, but like the equivalent of a sermon for Islam. And it's like the same exact thing you'd find in like a Christian church. Like they talk about the same values and the same stuff. Like it's pretty much not that different. I guess. And it really depends too. Like there's like super involved versions of Christianity, like Pentecostals, you know, who have to dress like a certain way and they're very, very conservative. And there's like less conservative versions of Christianity.
For sure.
It's got a lot of kinky. It's got a lot of kinkiness that really triggers different cultures. I mean,
right. And then you take a look at Islam. There's very conservative versions of Islam, and there's very like loose versions. Like look at any Turkish soap opera, and you could see that hey, there's Turkish people who are Islamic, and they look just like they act and look just like us. They don't wear like crazy burqas or nothing.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
You know, there's different degrees on how they take that.
Like most Muslim people who live here in the Western world probably just dress like and have pretty similar lives to most people who are not Muslim, I would bet too.
Yeah, because it just depends, you know. There's certain ways that people will be more devout, and some people will be less devout. It's just how it is. But I don't know, man. I think when it comes to like religion, I like Jonathan Haidt's message about that. Is that no matter what, you're gonna have a religion. It just doesn't mean that it's going to be there's secular and non-secular religions, right? That's what he says. So if you're not going to have a non-secular religion, you're going to have a secular one.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm a bit drunk.
No, go ahead. I was wrapping that up.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was saying the way like jihads go on and the way crusades go on, I just worry about an alien crusade or jihad, you know.
Alien jihad.
Yeah. Alien jihad.
You fear that Thanos will come down and eliminate half of humanity for his jihad.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Definitely. Yeah, I should make. Yeah, that's a very. I should write this down.
Yeah, that's a good plot for a movie. The non-secular religions too. Like this is one point that I was kind of trying to make to my to our friend from Mixed Mental Arts Reed the other day when we were talking about truth and knowledge and religion and stuff like that. And I was kind of one of the points I was trying to make is that you and I are not religious, but that doesn't mean that it's better to not be religious, and that in people who are gaining some sort of like psychological and social benefit from their religion are doing it in a worse way than we are. They're doing it in a better way than works for themselves. And it's not like you don't have to, if you look at, I was thinking about this earlier too, and I might do a debate with Reed and Nathan because they do street epistemology. And I was thinking about this, and I might talk with my Christian friend Shane about it too, all of us, because it seems like I've been noticing in street epistemology, like
a lot of it is like anti-religious. It seems like
that's what I was saying. Like a lot of it is prioritizing rationalism and empirical and scientific truth over everything else, and trying to poke holes in people's religious beliefs, which in itself is a faith claim, the claim that everyone should have the highest moral value of rationalism and empiricism and scientific truth. That's a faith claim too.
Right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't think I'm like, I don't really consider myself religious, but I think I'm just lying to myself too, because I think like somewhere deep down we're all religious in our own kind of way, depending on what your definition of religion is.
I think we all have faith in something. That it annoys me when people say, when like religious people say you're Christian or you're believe in God, like what Jordan Peterson says. Like, no, everyone has a highest moral value and everyone has faith in something, but it doesn't have to be religious faith, but it is going to be some sort of faith, and you can be conscious of that and like try to have good moral values and basically follow like kind of a religion, but it's not like anything that has to be like Christianity or Islam or Hinduism or anything like that.
Because there's a lot of people who have unjustified faith that their country is like the best in the world. You know, stuff
a lot of
like
Americans
that.
do, yeah. Like Ben Shapiro, greatest country in the history of the world. Okay, we live in America, and it's objectively the best country in the history on Earth, and it's the best place on Earth to live in right now. Okay.
You need to. Since you're good with accents, you need to do a Milo Yiannopoulos one. You need to work on a Milo. Did you see what happened with that guy recently?
Oh yeah, he's doing like a
religious QVC.
Yeah. He's like doing infomercials selling religious objects.
Man, as the mighty have fallen.
Gotta pay those bills somehow.
Yeah, he's ex-gay, yet he has like the gayest haircut in the world.
Yeah. You see Kyle Kalinski's video about that? He was like, listen, were you gonna wake up one day and go, I don't like cock anymore? That's like if you were a straight person, are you gonna wake up one day and say, I don't like pussy anymore? I'm ex-straight now.
Yeah, it's pretty much an impossibility unless you got some type of major brain trauma. Like if you, I could see that if you had some type of brain trauma, maybe a switch can be flicked that way, but you can't just decide that unless you took like so much shrooms that it caused you some type of like brain chemistry breakdown. But yeah, I doubt it. Like the guy's still gay. He's still gay, son, as what Kyle Kalinski would say.
Yeah.
You ain't quit gay, son.
Yeah.
What is he? He became religious or something? Why is he ex-gay?
He became an evangelical Christian, and he's like promoting like conversion therapy now. Supposedly he threw away his $300,000 wedding ring in the ocean. Yeah, right. You know. The guy says he's ex-gay, yet he still sounds gay as hell, and he has a gay-ass haircut. Like, yeah, right. Like, because usually even people who are trans, like the ones who are trying to pass, will at least try to alter their voices. He still sounds gay.
Yeah. Listen, darling, I'm no longer gay, okay? I love vaginas. They're very pleasing to me.
Oh, man. Yeah, how the mighty has fallen. I used to like Milo, like back when I was like a super like anti-SJW person, like in the beginning.
Yeah, me too.
Until I found out that he was like really just a grifter.
Yeah, I have Dangerous, I think, of one of his books on my shelf.
Man, I hated Milo Yiannopoulos from the start because when I was taking like economic rhetoric classes, I was so new to this country, I didn't even know what rhetoric means even when I looked at the dictionary. So but I was supposed to understand it from the class, and there was like a group of Milo kids.
Milo kids.
They were all like, yo, they're like bothering me during the class all the time. And I remember I dropped out of that course. I was like, what the hell? I was so confused and like, what the fuck's going on? Is Trump gonna win? Is World War II happening again? Hey, what's going on? We're gonna die. Like,
Yeah, that must have been wild to like actually be in university when all the woke stuff was going on and the anti-woke stuff and the whole Berkeley riot thing. But we haven't had anything like that since then. Like there hasn't been any like crazy like campus protests like that since Milo. He was like peak campus craziness. I guess you can kind of, I don't really consider Weinstein peak because they didn't destroy the school like when Milo tried to speak at Berkeley. And then he was like doing.
Weinstein was pretty crazy too, though. Like there were people chasing him around with baseball bats.
Well, yeah, but no, there wasn't like an all-out riot though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like Milo caused a riot. Well, I don't know if you want to say cause, but people were rioting over Milo. I was like, yeah, this seems kind of weird.
I'm sure he loved that too. I'm sure he loved that, so he could go around talking about it.
Yeah, because there was going to be another rally or some type of, conference or something. And nobody showed up. Like, no opposition showed up. So he's like, yeah, I'm canceling this.
Right.
I think in order for Milo to be Milo, he has to have a lot of opposition at his rallies and whatnot.
He should have gone full QAnon. That could have boosted his career.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on with that guy.
Me neither.
Maybe he's just like depressed and trying to find God.
I wouldn't mind if I wouldn't mind if he became popular again, just because I would find him hilarious, especially in his current rendition. If he
he's funny. I remember him being a pretty funny guy.
Yeah, if you were gonna start going around like preaching like an evangelical Christian now, I would just find that so funny.
Well, it is kind of funny that the super flamboyant gay guy is evangelical now.
He was like super hyper gay too. Like the reason he got canceled. The reason he got canceled because he was saying, "Listen, darling, pedophilia is not that bad, okay? I pursued the Catholic priest myself. It was the greatest sex of my life."
Yeah, and then he got canceled. I get it. I get what he's saying, but here's the thing. I think he only got canceled because he's gay. Because that shit happens all the time. Like where an older man, not like somebody that's like 21, 22 or something, dates like a high school student. Like that shit happens all the time. And it's like socially acceptable for the most part in American society. But if you do that with,
it's but more if you accepted.
If you do same sex, it's pedophilia. Oh no, it's pedophilia.
It's also more so if it's a guy dating like a 17-year-old girl. Like if it's the other, or I mean the other way around. Like if it's a 21-year-old woman dating a 17-year-old high school student, most people are like, God damn, good for that kid. What did he do to get that?
It depends on the culture too. Like certain cultures just don't give a shit if a 21-year-old dates like a 17-year-old.
That's been normal for most of human history too.
Well, yeah, and there's some states where you can get married at that age too. So I don't know. But if it's a gay person, pedophilia.
Yeah.
because they're super anti-pedophilia there in
Catholic Church.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta. Uh, I wonder if they're ever gonna investigate the Catholic Church or they have to leave it alone because isn't the Vatican like its own state or something?
I
Yeah.
think Joe Biden is Catholic, so I don't know.
Well, and also I think I've seen a few documentaries about the whole Catholic pedophilia thing, and it seems like basically what they do is they just move around the pedophiles from one parish to another instead of
They
trying
have
to get rid of
pedo
them.
rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they play that cup game with pedophiles. They just move them around real quick.
Which cup is it under?
Which cup is the pedophile under? No pedophile here. I don't know what's going on with Catholics, and I don't know why it's so ripe for like molesting priests. Just let them have families and shit.
Yeah,
man.
Like if you open it up that way, then you're gonna pretty much eliminate all your weird problems.
In Islamic countries, the imams actually are like pimps. They got like 2 wives, shit ton of children. They're like the boss. They're like
Right.
leading the prayers and stuff like that. And over here, it's like it's different, weird.
Any Christian priest who isn't a Catholic can have kids and get married and have families and stuff like that too.
But they're into alphas, right? They're more like beta. They take care of people.
Yeah. You want to be an alpha. You want to be like a Mormon
nuns,
polygamist,
too.
right?
So you got nuns, angry women who never get any.
I think I know a few of those.
Yeah. So I don't know why. It seems like the most sexually repressive, like faith to have.
Maybe that's why there's so many sexual problems from sexual repression.
Oh, I'm married to God. I only need God's penis up in my vag. That's all I need. The word of God.
Me and my friends were.
Or if you're a guy, I get down on my knees and pray and suck God's dick every day.
So, like, how do they do the workarounds? Do they create dildos out of old Bibles or something, or what's the workround for?
No, we put the top. They put their top of their dick, the skin on the top of their dick. They cut it off. They put it in the the black stone in.
What?
In what? What black stone?
What?
Man, can you imagine somebody just entering this stream right now? Just I'm going to tune into this channel, see what these guys are talking about.
Just joking about pedophilia, no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the mechanics for which a nun gets off.
Yeah.
Are there any nun molestations? No, nuns just like to beat kids.
That's a good point, isn't it? How often do you hear about nuns getting molested by male priests?
Or just nuns. I bet the nuns are always getting it on with monks and shit.
Maybe.
I bet they get it on in secret.
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
It's either you get it on with nuns or you molest kids. And to be honest,
either that
or the first one.
It's gotta be one of those. Must be.
And I hope it's the first one. Just
me too.
Yeah, hey nuns, be there for your priests. Make sure they're not molesting kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sacrifice yourself to the sacred dong.
Be like Jesus and sacrifice yourself to stop pedophilia.
No, it's actually a black hole. It's a black hole that's absorbing people, and people are simulating it. We're going round and round and going inside the black hole, getting sucked inside as we circle, because it's a dead star in there. And it's bending
Inside
the
of a nun's
space and
vagina?
time. It's bending space and time. It's so dense. Oh my god!
Well, doesn't time stop? So it'd be like when dogs hump, they get stuck to each other. That's what would happen with a
Then I
priest and
can't
a
get
nun.
out anymore.
Yeah, because of the black hole.
That's so hilarious.
Imagine if humans had that same mechanic where they'd get stuck. Imagine how bad, like, someone getting caught in an affair would be.
It's like, baby, wait. Ah, shit, I'm stuck. Give me a second.
Yeah, it'd be no hiding it. But I'm pretty sure there's probably some animals out there with like breakaway penises that grow back or something. There has to be an animal like that out there.
Well, lizards.
If not an
some
insect, there's
lizards-
definitely an insect out there that has a
Some
disposable
lizards can
cock.
regrow back their limbs and tails, right? I wonder if a lizard who can regrow back its tail or its limbs can regrow back its dick.
I don't know, maybe. A salamander, maybe? I don't know. But salamanders are amphibians, so I'm not sure if they have dicks. Do amphibians have dicks?
That's a good question. Well, why wouldn't they?
Because they're like fish, you know? Fish don't have dicks.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
I don't think frogs have dicks.
Google
Do they?
right now is like, what the fuck are you looking up, bro? Do amphibians have dicks? Frogs don't have penises.
Yeah.
Frogs
So they
don't
don't
have
have any.
penises, but they have
Oh,
cloacae.
sorry. I was looking up. What was
You're gonna end up on an Infowars email.
Hegel.
You're trying to turn the frogs gay.
I was just looking up disposable cocks on fish.
Here's a picture to prove my point, and 5 witnesses to tell me where I was at each second.
Yeah. Well, don't these chats always get out of hand pretty much? Like,
Always.
Yeah.
these things always get way out of hand.
Yeah, these are the most fun ones.
Hey guys, I think I'm really tired and I gotta go to bed. It's been fun.
Okay. I think we've been rambling for a while and could probably end it here if that's cool with you guys anyway.
Yeah, I need to find out about this disposable cock business. There has to be some
Better
animal that has one.
Better do some research.
What's that
Report
Monkey King
that.
hero? There's like a Monkey King in every nation, right? Legend of the Monkey King or something like that.
I don't know if there's an American Monkey King. Maybe Donkey
There's
Kong.
no. Yeah, maybe Donkey Kong or something. But
Are you talking about that book?
Talking about Journey to the West.
Goku. I'm talking about Goku. Sorry, Son Goku. Chinese
Goku.
monk.
Yeah, Journey
Not
to the West.
not the Dragon Balls. Yeah, Journey to the West.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that guy had a stick that could go like super long when he needed it or something, right?
Well, in Dragon Ball, before it became Z, he has that stick.
He limps around everywhere, but when it's time, he's got the biggest chain.
like Yoda, right? He limps around everywhere, and then when he has to get into a lightsaber fight, he can leap around.
Yeah. Because he tries really hard. He's a tryhard. What a noob. I hate these tryhards.
Yeah, it's all about the try.
I hate tryhards, man. I can tell you, these tryhards, they're making life hell.
It's all about the try-easies, man.
Be more of a grifter.
They get smashed around a bit. Yep, that's awesome.
Just do it the easy way and be more of a grifter like Milo Yiannopoulos or Candace Owens.
I wish I had the moral compunctions to be a grifter. I just don't.
Man, it sounds exhausting to bullshit that much too.
To be a grifter?
Yeah.
It's like trying to be an entrepreneur and bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like you're constantly researching how you can bullshit people.
Yeah.
You know,
You
like
can do
that
that
church
easily
in
too.
Texas.
Just look up sophists. Just look up the sophists. Like going back to the ancient Greeks, sophists. Their main goal in intellectual discussions was to win them, and then use logical fallacies to do that. So there are intellectuals going back thousands of years telling you how to bullshit people with logical fallacies.
Wow. Yeah, it just kind of reminds me of like the mega churches that are super rich, like the Olsteins.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get super rich and it's like an oxymoron. It's like, yeah, we're
Oh, you mean
super
like
rich. Like the
what do you
mega
mean,
churches?
like super rich Christians, you mean?
Like the mega churches, like the Olsteins, you know
Yeah.
about them? Like those
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we're rich and we're going to live in a mansion, but we're all about the word of God.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny when the like evangelical ones are being all anti-gay and then they get busted with like meth and having sex with gay hookers.
Meth. Why is it always a combination of meth and gay hookers? That happened to the mayor of my city. Got busted
Really?
with meth and gay hookers, yeah.
Maybe it's like the most sinful stuff they can do, and they're so repressed that they want to sin as hard as possible.
Yeah, but why that combination? Is there something special about meth and gay hookers? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe a lot of gay hookers like to do meth. I don't know. From Dr. Carl Hart, it sounds like meth is pretty fun.
I mean, it's one of those
Unless
combo
you live
things
with a
like
meth head that likes to steal shit.
Yeah, you don't want to be a meth head.
Yeah. I had a meth head that was my cousin, and he stole my GameCube and sold it for meth.
Oh, jeez. Damn. That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
I was like, I ain't letting you borrow shit ever again. Because I found out about it because the guy he sold it to told me that he sold it. Like, oh shit.
Oh wow.
Like, man, addictions will make you do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Have fun in moderation.
Yeah, because I knew heroin. I knew heroin addicts when I was working at my first job. There was this girl there was a girl that worked there, and eventually she got into a relationship with like a heroin addict, and she started doing it. And then, what do you know? They show up at your house. It's like, oh, do you want to buy this gold necklace? I was like, no. I don't need a goddamn gold necklace. No. Like, only people who are on drugs do shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, man, and then you feel really bad because you're like, man, they just got sucked into that, and it's like, imagine the loss of dignity of you trying to like pawn off this like crappy necklace.
Yeah.
Or ask for money, to borrow money. I was like, no, I don't got anything to, I'm working the same minimum ass wage job you are. I don't know why you think I have like extra money laying around.
Yeah.
But man, it's nasty when people get hooked like that.
Yeah. I haven't seen that often, but I've seen like I knew someone once who got addicted to coke, and that was pretty depressing too.
Yeah, I don't know, because it seems like it has to be a combination of an addiction plus some other like mental deficiency.
Yeah, I think like it seems like from again, like from people like Carl Hart, that a lot of times when people get addicted to drugs, they have that sort of addictive personality because they've had so much trauma in their life, and it's like the way they block out the suffering in their life, and then they probably have some sort of psychological issues too.
Yeah, because I definitely have an issue with addictiveness. I get addicted to shit. So I remember when I was like just addicted to like health and fitness and shit, like I would go out like at 2 a.m. and do like 2-hour bike rides.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah. I was like, man, because it was like a combination of like being addicted to that and then having some health anxieties, I think.
Okay.
Because during that era, that was like, I weighed less than I did in high school. I was like, oh shit.
Okay.
I'm like skinny and shit. It's weird. I didn't like my legs during that era. They just looked way too skinny.
So you had to do lots of squats?
Well, this was like years before I was doing the powerlifting stuff. But
oh, okay.
yeah, I was able to remain relatively light for a few years, even after I stopped being obsessive about health and exercise.
That's good.
But,
I don't really get addicted. I don't really get addicted to things like I can smoke weed without it becoming a problem. But I do actually get a little bit addicted to caffeine and working out a little bit actually. But I can control those things. I can, like, if I notice, oh, I'm drinking way too much coffee, man, I'm going to have a cup of tea in between each cup of coffee now, or I'm going to do one less set of each of my exercises.
Well, how many cups of coffee do you drink in a day?
Now I have about 3.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So I drink 1 to 2 a day. Except on these days where I'm drinking like a 300 mg can of energy drink.
Yeah, so, I drink those if I'm sleep deprived.
When you are sleep deprived?
Yeah.
That's like the opposite of what you should do.
Have an energy drink?
When you're sleep deprived?
Yeah.
You should go to sleep.
Well, yeah, obviously. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like usually on these overnight shifts, I'll drink like a 300 mg drink, and then earlier I'll drink a 90. So, and then after you drink it, you feel like really energetic. You're like, oh man, this is great. And then just in time for the crash, I'm off to bed.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's a good time for the crash. I don't really get caffeine crashes, luckily.
I do only when I energy drinks.
Oh, okay. Not when you drink coffee?
No, not when I drink like coffee barely even does anything for me.
I think the energy drinks are stronger in some way.
Oh, they're
I'm not
definitely.
sure how, but,
they're definitely stronger. Like a cup of coffee was like what, 85 caffeine?
I think coffee and energy drinks actually have roughly the same amount of caffeine. I remember looking that up before.
Depends.
It's different, isn't it? Like, isn't like coffee more of a natural caffeine as opposed to like a energy drink is like.
There's caffeine plus, like, it's not just caffeine.
Yeah, it's caffeine plus a whole bunch of other things.
What's the word I'm looking for? There's a special ingredient, not sativa or
I don't think there's sativa in them.
No.
That'd be cool.
There's a special word that, anyway, yeah, I think it's 2 different types of caffeine, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's a different type of caffeine from what's in coffee. I think you might be right about that.
Anyway, I can't do energy drinks at all. If I do, I won't go to bed for 3 days straight. I just do coffee.
3 days.
Well, I'm exaggerating, but like, yeah, I'll be up for a while if I have an energy drink. I try to keep it at 2 coffees a day, and try to keep my second coffee at like around 3 or 4. Like, I try not to drink at any time past that.
Yeah, I don't have much problems anymore with sleeping.
I try to usually stop drinking coffee by the time I'm getting ready for supper at the latest. But if I want to, I could drink a cup of coffee and then go to sleep. It's because it doesn't seem to affect me that much.
Yeah, no, I think I'm kind of the same. Like, I could have a cup of coffee and have a nap, but I think, like, if you're a big stoner, which we both are, I think that kind of levels it out a bit, because, like, obviously smoking weed makes you sleepy. So
especially if it's like indica right before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Sleeping tips from stoners.
Sleeping tips from stoner, but I feel like they balance them out. At least for me, that's just my own, and I think it's different for everybody, obviously.
Yeah.
But for me, if I have 2 coffees a day, medium or large, depending on what's going on, and then that'll balance out. That'll keep me awake. Yeah.
Did you guys ever listen to reggae while you were blazing up?
I've listened to Bob Marley before.
Yeah.
Bob Marley, that's like the stereotypical thing to do.
Yeah. Listen to music in general, I think, is or creating
one of my
music.
Favorite things. Yeah.
I create
one of my favorite things to do when I get baked is right after I get baked is eat a delicious meal and watch South Park.
Yeah, like anything's delicious after that, right?
Definitely.
Oh yeah, if you're having like a big pizza or like McDonald's or some shit, like a big joint before you dive in is
It's like, dude, how could this possibly be so delicious? I can't believe it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I remember, I don't have a whole lot of experience, but I remember eating afterward, I was like, man, this is like the best thing I've had in forever, and it was like a normal thing that I've eaten before.
Right.
I think it was like a taco or burrito from a taco shop. And it was like a taco shop that I went to like twice a month. And for some reason, after I had smoked, it was like the best burrito I've ever had.
In your life, yeah, for sure. I feel like we always talk about food whenever I'm on here. And then I always get hungry.
Well, you guys, it's your Tim Horton stuff over there.
Actually, Tim Hortons, I have a rule now. I don't get any food from Tim Hortons. Fuck that. Coffee only. I will never eat
Tim Hortons. Is it because that lady pooped and threw it at a cashier there? Is that why?
No, it's not. It's not because of a gross story or any of that. It's just that their food quality has gone down like significantly over the past, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years for sure.
What happened to them?
I think they got bought out by like the people that own Burger King. Because Tim Hortons used to be owned by a Canadian company, and then no offense, but the Americans, I'm American too, but the Americans bought Tim Hortons, and
coffee's worse now too. McDonald's coffee's better.
The coffee is worse now, and I heard that these are all just like rumors, but I heard that like, yeah, they don't use the same, Arabica blend that they used to before, and actually McDonald's uses the old blend that they used to use. At least here in Canada, yeah. McDonald's coffee has come a long way, man. It used to be fucking sludge, and now it's like
now it's
they
great.
got McCafe now.
Yeah, it's decent,
Well, I usually just get their iced coffee with a shot of espresso.
Mm-hmm.
That, or I just get a friggin' Dunkin' Donuts, which is 1,000 times better. I don't know. Do you guys have Dunkin' Donuts?
No, so that would be our Tim Hortons.
I think that's mostly an American thing.
I've had
Dunkin' Donuts is Tim Hortons.
Yeah, it's like the same. It's the equivalent, I would say.
Same kind of thing, like donuts and coffee place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically Dunkin' Donuts and coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought Tim Hortons was like a fat.
Have you tried these sandwiches at Tim Hortons that I like though? That are like biscuit egg McMuffin sandwiches. Those are pretty good.
No, I haven't. Again, no food from Tim Hortons anymore. Just coffee.
Yeah, that's fair. That's what I
Yeah.
get most of the time too.
Yeah, I can't. Even though sometimes it's tempting. It's like, oh, you see like a double glazed chocolate something or other, and they're sitting in the window, and you're like, fuck. But
I might get something like that sometimes if I'm on because I have one day off a week that I take off from my healthier diet and allow myself to have junk food. So if it happens to be one of those days, then I might get like a old-fashioned glazed donut or an apple cruller or something like that.
yeah. Yeah. I just can't. I don't know, man. I just can't do Tim Hortons food anymore. It's just, yeah.
That's fair.
It's
All
like
right.
half
Now,
the food is shit. Half of it was like, I don't even want to support it. You know what I mean? Once it became like,
Yeah.
even the donuts, they used to make them in the store fresh at the Tim Hortons. Now they're like mass produced at some one Tim Hortons maybe out of every 10, and then it's like distributed throughout, and they're all like, I don't know, the dough is different, the icing was different. Like the donuts were more like a Krispy Kreme type donut back in the day, right? And
Do you guys have Krispy Kremes?
we did, but then they left when they quickly found out that there's no market up here.
everything's Tim Hortons.
Nobody wanted the
loves Tim
Krispy
Hortons.
Kremes.
Well, no, we did.
Yeah.
People loved them for like 6 months, but then once the fad was over, I don't think they
Went
did.
back to Tim Hortons.
Yeah, well, I don't think they did
Yeah.
well. You know what I mean? I think they invested all this money to come up here, and then they were like, "Oh shit." You know, we probably gave them as much as like Wisconsin, right? So they were just like, "All right, we're out of here."
Oh wow!
Because we're like what 50 million compared to, I don't know.
California.
Yeah, like that's California, right? So like I
think we're like over 30 million, which is like roughly 10% of the population of the US, which is over 300 million.
Yeah,
I know the numbers are higher than that now, but
not to mention
roughly,
distribution, right? Like
That's 38 million.
a majority of our major cities, like Edmonton, Calgary, like they're fucking really hard to get to, right? Like if you're going to Edmonton, right, you're driving like sending trucks 10 hours up north to Krispy Kreme. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's not worth it for them, right? So
I mean, like from where you are?
Well, anywhere. I'm just saying in general, if Krispy Kreme were why they didn't, stay too long in Canada and set up shop here is because it wasn't worth their while, population wise. And after you distribute all those donuts and shit halfway across a fucking huge country like ours, it's not worth it.
You can't just make them in the shops, because here the Krispy Kremes are all made in the shops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each Krispy Kreme makes their own donuts.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be cool if they did that here.
Yeah, they probably did. Still
make their own donuts.
Even if you're making your own shit, right? You're still, you're still supplying in dough and icing or whatever. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's a shit ton of different donut places.
They wouldn't do that now for sure, because they would really reduce their profit margins, because they'd have to take so much more time to make the donuts, and it's it's often really super busy.
But fresh donuts are the best type of donuts.
Yeah, I agree.
100%
for sure.
No, it would make more sense to make them in-house. My main point was that it's not worth Krispy Kreme to be in Canada anymore.
That's unfortunate. Do you guys have duck donuts or no?
No,
I've never even heard of that.
I guess that's a U.S. thing. Well, duck donuts, they actually just make the donuts right there.
Oh, okay.
So, like I think it's all based off of like a basic cake donut. So they make the cake donut, and then you basically choose what topping they're going to put on it. So none of the donuts are like pre-made. You order it and they make it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you're always going to get fresh.
It's like I like places like that do it made to order, like Fat Burger here. They always do that. They make your order when you get there. And I love Fat Burger because you can get enormous burgers.
Fat Walls, I guess the name, right? Fat Burger.
Yeah.
He brought them to me in the
Do they sell a burger
AJ's
called the Skinny Burger at Fat Burger?
The
I don't
lean,
think so.
the lean burger.
I get like I always get like the biggest burger, like the triple or quadruple large burger or
So
something
basically
like
a meatloaf burger. That's what you get.
that. Yeah, pretty much.
Like meatloaf in between two buns.
It's so much better than any burger at any regular fast food place too.
So like
Uh,
Whopper, do you go the double route with a Whopper? What do
I
you
guess
do?
so. I don't have burgers that often, but when I do, I'm usually like having it for a meal on my off day, so I'll get the biggest one so I can get enough protein.
Yeah, I don't think there's any fat burgers close to here.
Yeah, we have one
It's
that's
pretty
really
great.
far away in the south end, so I don't go there. But yeah,
There's some
It's
in
kind of more
LA.
of it's kind of more of an old-fashioned burger type of place.
Yeah, I remember they were in California, but I don't think there's any here. Oh, there's some in New Jersey. Oh, the
Okay.
closest one is in freaking Pennsylvania. Oh, wait, there's one in Virginia, but it's not close.
Okay. Well, now we've talked about food.
I know
a
I'm
whole
super
lot.
hungry. Let's
I
go
think
eat.
Is it called
Yeah.
the Triple King Burger? Is that the one that you get?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Triple King Burger. It's pretty massive. It's like this thick.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of it. It's
Yeah.
2,000 calories.
Yep, sounds about right. Yep.
Oh, man, that's nuts.
Okay. All right. Well, let's end it here, guys. And yeah, so next week, do you guys want to do that second chat about Squid Game? Because I think I'll be done it by then.
Yeah, we could do Squid Game. I'm game for Squid Game.
Sweet.
How far along are you guys?
I still got a few
I've
more
got-
episodes, but I should be able to.
Yeah, I've got 2 more. I think I just finished episode 7 the other day.
Did you get to that one super depressing episode?
Yeah, where they had to. Well, it's hard to say without getting into spoilers.
Well, have you seen that episode 7, Chris?
You've seen
No,
episode 7,
I don't
Chris?
think
No? Okay.
No.
Yeah, we can't talk about it then.
Is it an
It's a very-
episode? It's episode 6 that's also super depressing too.
I don't remember what episode 6 is.
Is that the one where with the marbles, where you have to?
I thought that was 7. Isn't that 7?
No, 7 is the one where they cross the bridge.
Oh, well,
And the
yeah.
VIPs
Episode
come in.
6. Okay, yeah. Episode 6 is the depressing
Episode
one, then.
6 is super depressing too.
Yeah, that one freaking pissed me off. Made me
Yeah,
mad.
me too.
That's because my favorite character was like the Pakistani dude.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, and then the old man was great too.
Yeah, 2 cool characters.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
man,
Well, yeah. Let's
damn it.
talk about that next week. And I think for the chat, you and I were talking about that one we were going to do on nice racism and how to be an anti-racist, comparing those books, Dusty. I think we should do that the week after next week, because I'll do that. I'll just do that other philosophy chat I was going to do with Peter Salmon, and then I've got another one next week with Jared. Also, we're going to do that chat that we were going to do about the Nicolas Cage movie Vampire's Kiss, which is a super Nicolas Cage movie. So that
Did you watch it already?
Yeah, I did. It's pretty great.
Okay.
It's a pretty Nicolas Cage performance anyway. Yeah.
All
right.
man.
Well, yeah. Thanks for talking again, guys. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed us talking shit about stuff. And, these are our most intellectual episodes, especially in comparison to the ones when I talk about philosophers and do philosophy deep dives. Super highbrow, these ones. So, yeah, and thanks for subscribing. Click the like button. Click the bell to be notified when I come out with more videos. Check out my Patreon page, which is in the link for the link is in the description for the video, as always. And like I always say, I love you all. Keep being the tiny beam of light that shines through the almost impenetrable darkness in the universe. And most importantly, always remember this: the funk cures all, and groove is in the heart. And have a great time, darling.
All right, adios. And I guess my only plug is join us next week for some more Wheel of Time fun.
Yeah, we're going to talk about episode 2 and 3 of Wheel of Time, right?
Right.
Yeah, on your channel, Woke Centrist. And also check out Chris's new video. It's on your channel. Your channel is Christopher James.
Yeah, that's it. Just
Yeah.
Chris James.
Check out his new song and video there. It's really good.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks again, guys. And thanks again, everyone, for watching. And adios until next time.
All right, sayonara.
Later.